to my channel. I'm glad you're here. That was my breakfast. Here's a little preview for you. I'm going to be working with arches, some chocolate, some watercolor paints, and Prismacolor. This is inside my sketchbook, and I started with pencil, found a picture similar to this on Pinterest, got inspired, added several plants to a slightly different bus. Thought it was adorable. Then I switched to Procreate and printed that drawing off so that I could trace it on the arches paper. I do like doing this because I prefer not to continue to erase lines that aren't quite in the right place. So this is the easiest way that I find. Do all the work on Procreate and then print it out. Here I am sketching, and then I erase it because I do want to get a little bit finer with the detail. I do have a tendency, especially with traditional art, I think I'm so used to using the iPad that I've kind of lost that touch a little bit, so. So I decided to do something new here and use blue colored pencil to finish out the drawing. I did start with red. I thought that would help with the skin tones, and then I went in with blue to finish out the rest of the drawing. I liked that, and I think I will be doing a lot more of that. I tried to start my paintings off as pale as possible. I don't know the correct word. Just with a lot of water, a lot less pigmented. I kind of failed a little bit. Maybe it would have turned out just fine if I would have continued and just kept it consistent. Instead, I try to fix it with watering it down and lightening it up with a paper towel. And then I end up doing the exact same thing that I did on the bus, or on the boat to the bus. So that's kind of funny. It's super late, and I thought I would turn off my show and come do a voiceover and see how successful I could, because honestly this is like my 4th time trying to do this voiceover. It's a lot harder than you think it is. I thought when I originally decided to do this YouTube channel, I was like, oh yeah, I'll do voiceovers, it'll be easy, that'll be the easiest part. Turns out it's not the easiest part. I loved putting in this grass. I got a little bit carried away. You'll see that at the end. once the skin tone dries, I do find that it lightens up a bit, and so you just keep adding on a little bit more skin tones. That was the one thing that I was really worried about doing when I was first starting watercolors, which wasn't that long ago. I've been doing digital for so long. And actually, I never did watercolors seriously as a kid. I did take art lessons and loved it, but never actually did watercolors. I did oil painting and acrylic and pastels and colored pencil, but I didn't ever do watercolor, which seems like the first thing that you would do, but I think my art teacher probably knew how hard they were. Just kidding. I don't know. Maybe I did. I just don't remember doing it. This was one of my very favorite things to do. Was the bandana and her little swimsuit. In the picture that I'd drawn in my sketchbook, I went with a red swimsuit, and then on this one I decided to go with a matching set. I must have just really liked drawing in those lines. The next drawing that I do is of a little girl with a fox doing yoga, and I put stripes on her pants too. And afterwards I was thinking, oh my goodness, do I have any other pattern ideas, Brooke? Here I am just going in with the line work, and I think I've mentioned this before. I just try to do it as lightly as possible, or lightly, I meant with as little of water as possible. Maybe I should wake up super early and do them. I don't know if I could do that though. I put in the watercolor. I put in the dark blue color here in the very back, and that's just to make the little girl pop off the page, which I loved. I thought it worked out very well, and her red hair, it just kind of sits nicely with the blue. Adding in this watering can, you can see my consistency isn't quite the same. I haven't quite decided what I like and what I don't like. Like I said, I am pretty new to the watercolor thing, which that's probably why I rely heavily on colored pencils afterwards to get things a little bit more tight. Clouds. I'm using a Polina Bright Paintbrush. This is a size 0. I have other brands, but this is the one I really like. And as I get more and more detailed, I try to have a lot more pigment on my brush and a lot less water on my brush, and that just gets things a little bit sharper. I cannot stop thinking about the show I'm watching. I'm so obsessed, and I haven't found one person who has watched it. So there's nobody to talk to about it. It's the girls in Corfu. I'm only on the first season, but I think the writing in it is so good. It's so funny. I have noticed that it helps to keep with the same paintbrush or just one or two paintbrushes throughout the whole drawing. And then the same with your palette. Why I have such a limited amount of paints. I just keep with the same 12 paints because it keeps the whole thing more consistent. That's just what I've found. I put in her nose and I went so dark, and I actually think that I took a break after this. I think, yeah, you can see the light change. Everything just changed. And when I sat down I realized, oh, her nose was just so dark. I just lined it up with a white colored pencil. And here I am just putting in, I used to think that it was cheating to use colored pencils in your watercolor paper. And I remember doing one in particular of like gnomes doing something. I wonder where that is. Anyways, gnomes playing chess. And I put just the smallest amount of colored pencils in it. And I felt so guilty, and really you shouldn't feel guilty. I don't know why I felt guilty about that. And this time, I mean, I'm just like, yeah, let's add some texture here. Let's color the whole background. Let's fix the skin color. I think it's funny. We all put our own rules on ourselves. I remember in the 7th grade, I remember thinking that girls can't be funny. And so, I mean, that's the dumbest thing ever. If you're a 7th grader and you have put rules on yourself, don't. You can be funny. You don't have to be a boy to be funny. I'm just trying to punch in the darks is what I'm trying to do. Get them to pop a little bit more. And then going in with my green colored pencil to get the plants to come out. I wasn't able to get them to show up as much as I wanted to, I guess, with the colored pencils. or the paintbrushes, the watercolor paint. And I probably could have, and maybe I could have just left them alone. Because the ones in the back, like the one hanging right now, looks pretty good. Looks like it's kind of in the distance. Like it's behind the boat instead of in front. I think this is about the last thing I did. Oh, I did put some more texture in the grass, and that just, again, helps with the consistency. So, and that's all I'm trying to do, is so that it doesn't look like there's just one thing that has colored pencil in it. It's kind of throughout the whole drawing. The one thing that I really don't like is the little stickers on the bus on the back. They did not come out the way that I wanted them to. And I don't know how I would have done that better. The paper's so textured that I think sometimes it's really hard to get little details in. And look at my little fulcrum pinky. I do it again. Anyways, I think that's pretty much it. That's the very last of it. I might do a few things here and there, but enjoy the music. I hope you enjoy this painting, and let me know if you've seen that TV show. Talk about it. Thank you. I hope you have a good night. Bye.